Nobel winner sounds alarm. Voyager may second have triggered something. It started with a single sentence, one that sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Voyager may second have triggered something. Those weren't the words of some fringe theorist or science fiction author. They came from a Nobel Prize winning physicist, someone who spent decades unraveling the secrets of our universe. And just like that, an aging spacecraft that most people forgot even existed was suddenly back in headlines. But it wasn't nostalgia bringing Voyager 2 into focus. It was fear. A subtle but strange signal, barely a whisper across space, had shown up in the data. It wasn't like the usual radiation readings or solar wind measurements. This one didn't make sense. And to a mind trained to recognize patterns in the chaos of the cosmos, that's what made it terrifying. But before we get into what that signal might mean, let's rewind, because understanding how we got here starts with understanding what Voyager 2 really is and what it was never supposed to find. Launched in 1977, Voyager 2 was never meant to come this far. It was a workhorse of the space race era, tasked with the bold mission of visiting the outer planets. And it did. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. It captured breathtaking images, gathered groundbreaking data, and rewrote textbooks along the way. But once it completed that grand tour, it didn't stop. Voyager 2 just kept going. It slipped past the edges of our solar system, crossed the heliopause, and entered what scientists call interstellar space, an uncharted, silent realm where the sun's influence fades and the unknown begins. And yet, even out there, 12 billion miles from Earth, Voyager 2 was still talking. Weak signals, yes, but messages nonetheless. Until now, those messages made sense. Until now, everything had followed the rules. But then came the anomaly, the transmission that didn't fit. And it's a single signal that has some experts wondering, did Voyager 2 stumble into something it was never meant to witness? When the transmission first came through, it didn't cause panic. It was subtle, just a blip in the data stream. But for the team still monitoring Voyager 2, it stood out like a crack in the glass. It wasn't just unexpected. It was unexplainable. The frequency was off. The energy levels didn't match anything Voyager's sensors were designed to detect. And strangest of all, it almost resembled a pattern, as if something out there had responded. One physicist, yes, the Nobel laureate, said it best. It looked more like a reaction than a reading. That's when the alarm started going off. What did Voyager 2 run into? A plasma wave? A gravitational anomaly? Or something no one has the tools to define yet? And the more they studied it, the clearer one thing became. This wasn't a fluke. It might have been a warning. Some scientists now believe Voyager may second have crossed into a region of space we didn't even know existed. This isn't just about reaching the edge of the solar system. It's about pushing into something far stranger, a place where known physics begins to blur. Some theories suggest it encountered a massive interstellar shockwave, something born from ancient supernovae, still pulsing to the galaxy. Others point to the possibility of a dark plasma field, a zone saturated with energy unlike anything our instruments are built to handle. Either way, what Voyager 2 sent back wasn't just noise. It may have been evidence that we're not in control of where we're going anymore, that the farther we push, the more we risk running into forces we don't understand, and possibly we're never meant to find. But not everyone agrees. In fact, some say the signal has a far more mundane explanation, and that the real mystery is how much Voyager 2 can even detect at this point. Skeptics were quick to respond. After all, Voyager 2 is over 45 years old, running on ancient tech and barely clinging to power. Most of its instruments have already been shut down just to conserve energy. It transmits data at a speed slower than a dial-up connection, and even that signal takes over 18 hours to reach Earth. Could the anomaly simply be a glitch, a misread caused by failing systems, or interference from deep space radiation? NASA has acknowledged the limitations. Some officials suggested the signal might be distorted or corrupted. Not evidence of something mysterious, but proof that Voyager 2 is nearing the end of its long journey. And yet, the timing and nature of the signal still don't sit right with many in the scientific community. It's not just that the signal was strange. It's that it was different. And for those who believe Voyager 2 really did trigger something, the question becomes, What happens next? What if Voyager 2 didn't just discover something, but activated it? That's a chilling theory floating through certain scientific circles. Some physicists wonder if its entry into this unknown region disturbed a fragile balance, like touching the surface of still water and setting off unseen ripples. There's speculation it may have awakened a dormant field of energy, or even disrupted a magnetic layer shielding us from galactic forces. Others whisper about the possibility of non-natural phenomena, yes, even artificial origins. Could Voyager 2's signal have pinged something that was waiting? Of course, these ideas are controversial. They blur the line between science and science fiction. But the fact remains, whatever happened out there was enough to make a Nobel laureate go public with his concerns. So now the world watches. Because if something was triggered, there's one big question left. Will it reach us? No one's saying we're in danger yet. But when experts begin tossing around phrases like cosmic consequence and galactic chain reaction, it's hard not to ask, what happens if the ripple Voyager may second have triggered keeps spreading? Some theorists have warned that disturbances in interstellar space could eventually interact with our solar system's protective bubble, the heliosphere. If that bubble is weakened, it could expose Earth to higher levels of cosmic radiation. Others have even gone darker, suggesting that whatever Voyager touched might not be natural at all, and that Earth might eventually receive a signal in return, a response. It's speculative, yes, but it's also the kind of speculation coming from people who don't usually deal in fiction. And while the debate rages on, there's one question we can't escape. Was this all just a strange blip, or have we opened a door we can't close? Right now, Voyager 2 continues drifting, silent, ancient, and unstoppable. It doesn't know what it's done. It doesn't know what it may have awakened. But somewhere beyond the edges of everything we understand, it left a mark. Whether that mark was a signal, a trigger, or a mere echo lost in the void, we may never fully know. Still, the fact that a Nobel Prize winning scientist felt the need to speak up, that alone says something. Not about fear, but about possibility, about how little we truly understand the universe we live in, and how, every once in a while, something tiny, like an old probe hurtling through the dark, reminds us just how small we really are. So the next time you look up at the stars, remember, we're not just exploring the unknown. We might already be a part of it. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.